Welcome into NFL Daily. Happy Conference Championship Day for everyone. But Chat Sports will also be your NFL offseason hub. We got multiple videos per day, a live show on Monday. That's tomorrow for you guys around the NFL. So if you don't want to miss out on anything for what will be an awesome NFL offseason, hit that sub button right now. Tom Downey here for NFL Daily by Chat Sports, and the NFL rumors, especially around coaching, are getting pretty wild at this point. We're going to begin with some Jim Harbaugh drama, as our first two stories are very much the what year is it meme here. Jim Harbaugh, per reports from both ESPN and NFL Network, met with the Broncos secretly after putting out the statement saying he was out of that job, he was going to stick at Michigan. And it sounds like somehow, some way, the door is not fully closed for Harbaugh to Denver, and the drama just finds a way to. So let's break down the timeline here. January 9th, Harbaugh and Broncos do their interview over Zoom. January 16th, Harbaugh, following a statement from the Michigan president, says he's going to return to Michigan. At some point after January 16th, a secret second interview occurred between Harbaugh and Broncos ownership, and that's why we're at where we're at. It's all really weird. It makes no sense. The Denver search has been a bit of a borderline disaster at this point. Here's what Ian Rappaport reported this morning. A source close to Broncos owner Penner said no offer was made during this week's visit, and that he wanted to visit Harbaugh in part because it was the only candidate he hadn't interviewed in person. But Harbaugh remained willing to listen and has told people if he were to return to the NFL, the Broncos job is the one he'd want. Though Harbaugh has not yet gone back on his stated plans to stay at his alma mater, the door remains open. We've had the Harbaugh to the NFL rumors like every year. Now we're getting them twice in the same year. I'm blown away by this even being a thing. He's been a bit of a job jumper in his career, from Raiders quarterback coach to San Diego to Stanford to the Niners. Now, of course, at Michigan. Things ended poorly in San Francisco. You can probably blame ownership, at least in part, along with the front office and Trent Baalke for some of that. I did not think we'd be here in the basically early February of, well, maybe Jim Harbaugh could still be the Broncos head coach, but apparently that is at least a 1% chance. So I think it's low, but at this point I can't rule out anything because stuff's just getting weird. We're going to go more in depth on this Broncos coaching search and how things are kind of getting a little bit dicey there. But what do you think is the percent chance that Jim Harbaugh leaves Michigan this year? Of course, for, I guess, the Denver job. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Let me know the percent chance old Jimbo leaves Michigan. Now, the Denver search is kind of in a weird phase. There are three coaches who appear to be out in Denver. DeMeco Ryans seems like he's going to go to Houston. More on that later on in today's show. Dan Quinn is going back to Dallas as the DC again. And it seems like Sean Payton won't get the job. Now there's a report that the Saints want 2 first-round picks for Sean Payton, which definitely is not going to happen. It's all been really weird and murky with Payton, and I don't know if he wants Denver all that much or if Denver wants it. Just with the cost involved, it's kind of a mutual breakup there. Now, Rapport this morning also reported that 4 coaches were told by Denver they're going in a different direction. Raheem Morris, David Shaw, Jim Caldwell, and Ejiro Evero. So that's everyone Denver's interviewed. So they got to go back and say, oh, well, actually, we changed our mind. We want to bring you back in for a second interview. Or it's going to be a little mini reset in Denver, and they're going to look in a different direction altogether. Jonathan Gannon is now being linked as a potential option for the Denver job. That is the Eagles defensive coordinator who has not interviewed. And if the Eagles win today, well, then they got to wait even longer. So the Denver search was aiming high, seemed like some of the fallback options would be like Dan Quinn. Well, now he's out. It's like you're applying to school and even your backup college rejected you. Patrick knows a thing or two about that. So who will the Denver Broncos hire? Shade for no reason. Get those predictions in for me. I don't have a great feel for where this Denver job goes now. I don't know if ownership's done a great job because they're new at this. This is all new for them too. So get those good guesses in. Who will Denver hire as their next head coach? Today's NFL Daily is sponsored by Athletic Greens. I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. Get comprehensive and convenient daily nutrition at athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health and wanted a supplement that actually tastes great. I take AG1 in the morning and it makes me feel ready to take on my day. Once I have baby liver set up with her breakfast, I make my AG1. I don't feel the need for caffeine in the morning anymore, and I feel energized throughout the day. Plus, AG1 empowers the gut for whole body health. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally couldn't be any easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water or apple juice some morning, and I drink it first thing. Done. It also costs like $3 a day. Pretty good, if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients, and that's a win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check it out, folks. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Trying to be a bit healthier since, a little bit of dad bod and the 1-year-old. So try an Athletic Greens and you should too. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Speaking of Athletic Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, that totally worked. ESPN report this morning is that the Packers prefer to trade Aaron Rodgers. And it just feels like this is a relationship that they're going to break up. It's a matter of when and who decides, we'll do it, whatever, as the Rodgers drama continues to find ways to go. Here's what Schefter reported this morning. A scenario that once seemed unthinkable. Okay, it's not. We've also been down this road many times before. But a Rodgers trade could be driven by financial reasons, the state of the Packers franchise, and ultimately the feelings of both the team and the star quarterback. League sources are convinced that the franchise prefers to move on from Rodgers, just as it once did with Brett Favre. Those sources also believe that Rodgers is well aware of the Packers' feelings on the situation. Oh boy, maybe this one will go down. Rodgers didn't play as well this year, and for as rough as things were in the middle of the year, they got hot down the stretch. They were win and in on Sunday Night Football against a Lions team that Rodgers has owned, and they lost. And Rodgers didn't play that well. Now, Rodgers has also said he's open to adjusting his contract. It's a bit of a weird deal. The 2023 option bonus is due this year. It doesn't really hit the salary cap until 2025. It's basically a player option with a lot of deferred salary, which it's a low cap if you trade for him this year. It's very manageable for a team. It's under 16 lows. You're fine. That's easy to do. It's that you're locking in almost 3 years of Rodgers, and you better win quick because otherwise he's going to retire at some point. The money hits you there, so it's a short-term fix, but it's also Aaron Rodgers, who won MVPs before last year, back-to-back years. So will the Packers trade Aaron Rodgers to a team like maybe the Jets? Vote Y for yes, N for no. And remember, we have broken this video down. We spent earlier this week looking at some Rodgers trade decisions. I'll put it in the comment section for you guys too, so you can find that video as well. But hey, when you're subbed, you don't miss out on this kind of stuff. Hit that big red or black and white button if you're on a new version of YouTube here right now. Let's talk DeMeco Ryans, as in a slight surprise given what happened this time the last job was open. It appears that DeMeco Ryans is the favorite for the Houston Texans job. He, of course, played in Houston from 2006 to 2011. There's a lawsuit involved there, so I guess that's all been sorted out at this point. The Texans landing Ryans, though, would be significant. Broncos and others have had interest. I don't think there's a better defensive coordinator in the NFL right now, and Ryans' ascent has been rapid. 2017, he was a defensive quality control coach. He spends 2018, 2019, 2020 as the inside linebackers coach. Now in year 2 as the Niners DC, just massive success. I have been very impressed with DeMeco Ryans. Given the lack of stability in Houston, I think he'd be a home run hire for the Texans. I think you can make a real argument that Ryans is the best head coach candidate, at least of those who appear to be taking a job. So not Sean Payton, I guess. Who do you think is the best head coach candidate left? Let me know right now in the comment section. One more story before we go to that is on Eric Bienemy, as he's drawing not just some head coaching interest, but offensive coordinator interest from other teams. Several teams have submitted requests to interview Bienemy. Now, 2 thoughts on this overall. As an OC, well, the Chiefs would have to allow him to interview. They could block it if they wanted to, unless he's out of a contract. So that could be the case. I'm not sure what his contract status is at this stage. But I also think that for Bienemy, look, he wants to be a head coach. For whatever reason, the interview process has not gone well. And when like half the league interviews you and everyone says, no, there might be something going wrong in that interview process, whoever it is to blame or what's going wrong there. But success outside of Kansas City as a offensive coordinator, a full-time play caller, not under the Andy Reid shadow / getting tied into the Matt Nagy disaster in Chicago, could help Bienemy get that coveted head coaching job. The Colts have a head coach interview process set up with Bienemy, so he's involved there. The Commanders, Titans, and Ravens have all requested interviews for Bienemy. The Jets did as well. They filled that in the end with Nathaniel Hackett, who we're going to try again of a team trying to hire Hackett to lure Aaron Rodgers. Maybe be better this time around, but Bienemy, he's not back in KC. He might go elsewhere this upcoming offseason. We will keep you guys covered with everything going on around the NFL. So make sure you're subbed. Free videos multiple times per day right here on Chat Sports.